Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm extremely excited because I didn't want to just do a normal review like I do for Wano. This is such a long arc, I want to do something special. So I invited on my friend Matthias to talk to me about Wano. He is caught up with the series. He can make sure I'm getting all I need, making sure I'm not misinterpreting, making sure I'm asking the right questions, all that. So welcome to the channel. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on. And how you're doing yourself? Done with Wano, quite a beast.
Oh yeah, what a long arc. It's like 180 chapters, I believe, in the manga.
I think it's 149 or 151, something like that. I can actually look that up because I won't risk getting spoiled like
Yeah.
stuff like this up.
Oh yeah, I don't touch Google. Because on One Piece, on the official One Piece website, they have only up to chapter 1020 or so. And the arc ends at 1051 or so. And so I had to track down someone else's edit of that section of Wano. So
Yeah,
it was hard.
when I was watching it, it was last year, and I was watching it the first part in One Piece because I discovered One Piece in the middle of Whole Cake. Up until that point, I've been watching it just regularly.
Yeah.
I wish I'd discovered One Piece before. Dressrosa is extremely painful in its original state. But anyway, I watched it, and then I hit the point where they had only done like half of Act 1, and then I just watched the rest regularly. But I do remember that I saw online someone had did their own like edit of it. But I thought like, yeah, I'll just watch the regular one. The one thing that sent me over the edge, I remember, was like, do you remember the sumo battle where they're like Luffy is in a ring with a sumo and they're like struggling against each other? In the original, that lasts like 3 minutes of them just like pushing back and forth and like going like, oh, and it's infuriating.
And all the crowd reaction shots of everyone going, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah. Let's go to the crowd pan left. Let's go to the crowd pan right on the same. Like once you notice those things, it's hard not to notice. And it's so annoying. But Toei's gonna Toei. They do it like that. But they also do amazing animation. So.
Yeah, because that first act, because that's one of the first things that Luffy does when he shows up on the island. Everyone has their own little jobs, and most of those jobs are abandoned immediately. And I was so upset by that because Luffy is like, I'm going to become a sumo wrestler. And I'm like, yeah, like I want a good amount of time of him, like building up the ranks, like in Dressrosa, getting people noticing him, like, oh, Lucy versus Luffy. Like, I love that stuff. I love Dressrosa. But then, like, immediately, I think it's Queen shows up and King. And they're like, it's a crap. Maybe I'm getting them confused.
No, it's like two father characters, like these kind of like, that's another thing. There's a lot to talk about in Wano, so we're probably going to be a little bit all over the place. But like the initial villains is just this. What are they called again? The Beast Pirates, like one of the gifters, like one of the one who has the fake troop. So he has like some sort of beast power.
Yeah,
he has a lion in his stomach, and I think
there's a gorilla guy who has like a gorilla for like hand. Like that's fun.
He's
but like
one of my favorite characters. He's in the raid in the favorite. I don't think he's early on. I thought he was hilarious. I remember when I saw that, I snapped a picture and sent to my friend.
Yeah,
so funny. But early on, like you don't really have a lot of threats because it's just these kind of like the beasts. And overall, I think like the beast as a whole, like King and Queen and Kaido are pretty awesome, but like all the others below them were kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
there were some fun designs, at least for me, some fun designs and some fun stuff here and there, but they were never that threatening. Being more kind of like gag humor and just easily beat up by everyone else.
Yeah, because even Usopp, Nami, and Chopper, like they hold their own for most of this arc until eventually Big Mom comes in and Kaido comes in. And Oda is like, okay, let's put you guys in the basement of this building so you guys aren't vaporized the moment they do any attacks. Because they can't withstand anything. So I was really, there's just so many, like, characters that are new to this arc. And I think that's a big detriment because I couldn't focus on anybody. I just kind of had to think of them as a collective, and I just couldn't.
No, and I think that is the main criticism a lot of people have with like when there's like too much going on, too many characters, and also like there's just a lot of things that he said that Oda sets up that he kind of like abandons or never develops. I think one of the things that people most say is like Zoro, and he has like his connections to Wano. So you're not reading the manga, but I think I told you message that there's like SBS where Oda answers questions. So this is not really a spoiler because like it's in an SBS, but after Wano he wrote like, oh yeah, by the way, Zoro has this whole like lineage. He has a relation to one of the warlords. One of the daimos. At one point, I'm sure you noticed one guy. He looked a lot like Zoro.
Yeah.
And that was basically his like granddad or something like that, a great granddad. And he in an SBS he did like a family tree. But it's just stuff like that where you're like, oh, that could have been worked in like a cool way, explored, but they just got abandoned. The same with like the numbers, like those guys.
They were so cool.
Like, oh, that was cool. Yeah. It's like, what's up with them? Not much, I guess. But I mean, there's so much to talk about. Maybe we should do like the act 1, act 2, just so we don't jump all over the place.
Yeah.
So, what did you like about act 1, and what didn't you like?
So I think for Act 1, I loved them first landing on the island, and they all each sort of have the duties. Like Kinemon, Kanjiro, all the samurai, the red scabbards, they have a mission of just getting everyone gathered together who are aligned with them. Because no one really knows who is aligned with Orochi or with Odin. And I really enjoyed sort of them, like, doing this, like, reconnaissance type of mission, like sneaking around and talking to people, having secret meetings. And it really reminded me of one of my favorite movies, Seven Samurai, where the entire first half is them planning how to go against the bandits who are going to come in and steal all of the harvest. And it's 7 samurai planning it. Each of them have their specialties and they have their each jobs. And I loved that parallel. But then immediately they are found out. And because they decide to put tattoos on their feet. And that's so easy to check. And I was so disappointed by that. That's probably the thing I hated. Because it was something related to my favorite thing with the arc, or with Act 1. And then I also really enjoyed Luffy sort of doing his chaotic thing and just going out in the middle of nowhere and just beating people up, having to step in, and he's found immediately, and everyone just keeps kind of sending people after him. And meanwhile, we have Big Mom, who keeps going up this really big waterfall, and we have King. King comes in and just keeps throwing them off the waterfall because he doesn't want them there. And
first it's King, and then later it's Margot who does the exact same thing.
Yeah. I loved.
Which is kind of funny, but it is.
Yeah, I really loved when Mako came in to this arc because Mako's amazing. We haven't seen him since Marineford, really, especially with his powers, and it's just so fun to see a lot of characters come back. And Perry Sparrow is someone who I hated during Whole Cake Island, but during this arc, I cheered when he showed up again. I'm like, wait, I hate this guy. Why am I cheering? But it's like I think it's the mixture of the music, like coming in and he's standing like so proud and all this stuff, and he's like, I can't believe Big Mom is aligning with Kaido. This is bullshit. Like we need to do everything we can to get her away from Kaido. And I really love that angle, too, because that wasn't something I was expecting. Because, of course, there's going to be people who don't want to align with Kaido, because he is just a really terrible emperor or Yonko. And I don't know. I'm thinking of, my ranking of the Yonko. I think Big Mom is my favorite still. And then it's Shanks. Shanks we haven't gotten too much of. His scene this arc was sort of crazy, though. But we'll get into that for Act 3. And then it's Kaido, and then... No, I think Blackbeard is number 3. And then Blackbeard is number 4. But that's just because he killed one of my favorite characters, Whitebeard. But I think he's amazing design-wise. I love his devil fruits. But
he's a good villain.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think it's just, and this is also a common criticism, that like Big Mom got a lot of focus. You got multiple chapters of flashbacks, and you see a lot of like, from when she's a kid and what makes her and all of that. And all you get really in Wano is near the end. You get like half a chapter, or like in the anime, I guess like a few scenes where you see his youth, and there's some hints of him being like in chains and being sold for political reasons and being captured and all that. And that's all cool stuff, but you never really get. Like, there's a lot of setup with like, why is he an alcoholic? Why when we see him for the first time, he tried to kill himself.
Yeah.
There's some of those things where it's like, it doesn't in Wano, and I'm not gonna say in the future whether this gets addressed or not. Just don't spoil you, right?
Yeah.
But in Wano itself, like you don't get any answers to that, which is a shame.
Yeah, because Big Mom's backstory was probably my favorite of, I think, any villain in the series. Like, we spent so much time developing her. And that's why she's my favorite, I think, is because of that. And Kaido, I was so looking forward to, because he's a dragon, he has the fish fruit, so when he falls in the water, I was like, he has a devil fruit, shouldn't he be dead? Oh, no, wait, it's because he has the fish fruit. Like, it's a nice workaround.
When does Kaido fall in the water?
When he was trying to kill himself, he fell in the water, or he fell, and then
he fell in the ground. He didn't.
Okay, yeah. Benching it does not help because there's a lot of little things.
So much,
yeah.
But that's actually a thing. I think you didn't see this. This is actually what I know we're jumping a bit, but like when they're fighting on Roof Piece, at the top, when they knock Big Mom off. She gets saved by the cloud and she got strewn up again. You saw one page, so they might have cut this out. But in the original anime, she falls in the water.
Huh.
And then the cloud goes in and get her out. That doesn't happen in the manga. And it doesn't really make any sense because that's also part of her devil fruit, like the cloud, so it shouldn't really work in the water. But because they want to stretch the scene, they made her fall in the water. And then, so it's one of those things where it's like, I hope they edited that out in One Piece, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did, because Luffy did fall in the water, and he was like dormant for like 2 episodes underwater for a while. Yeah. And that's when Momo has his big scene. And it's like it pays off. Like, it's a lot better than whatever they did with Big Mom, because that sounds pretty awful. So
yeah, but let's still go back to Act 1.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Act 1 is good. Like, it's good. It's a little bit slow, but I think it has a really cool end. With like Kaido versus Luffy and Luffy getting one shot and the prison, like the end of it, like the build up to it, the middle is a little bit slow, but it's cool to see everything. And like you say, it's kind of like you have all the regular characters. Robin is a geisha. Usopp is a total salesman. There's some of that to come a bit back later, but a lot of those roles, like the Frankie is a boat carpenter.
Sanji is like
cool.
Sanji's doing like a food truck.
So it all fits and it's cool, but it's kind of quickly moved away from, I think. And then what did you think about the first big kind of climax? Well, there's actually two. I would say there's 2 big things in Act 1, right? First, there's like the time. That's actually a big topic, like the time. And the reveal of like a 20-year time jump. What do you think about the whole time thing?
I was blown away when that moment happened, because I feel like every arc I always have a moment where I'm like, I never thought One Piece would have this. I had that in Fishman Island with the mechs versus kaiju, like that was awesome. And then Dressrosa had Gladiator basically going on, like. And then this arc is like, hello, we'll just put in time travel. And I was like, of course there's someone with a time fruit. Like, that makes so much sense. And I really love that moment when she's like, everyone, huddled together and we're sending you to the future. And then immediately afterwards, I think Kaido shows up beforehand and tries to kill her. And she's able to teleport everyone and the mansion's burning down. And all this stuff, and so everyone thanks the dead, and they have this whole legend of they're gonna come back with a vengeance, and I loved all of that. Like I wish that was like the focus was just everything with the curse. Like Because I think there could have been a really cool thing for Act 2, which I maintain is probably my least favorite section of One Piece. Because Act 2 was just awful. It was just way too drawn out. We have Big Mom with amnesia. It's bad. But I really loved... I really wanted them to, like, sort of slowly build this legend more and more to a further, and then just cause a bunch of shit, like, by the end of the arc. And that doesn't really happen. They're immediately taken down after it. So it's kind of a bit of a damper that it took them 20 years, because they get teleported 20 years, because it just sort of gets ended and doesn't wrap up that well, I think, for Act 1 when it's first revealed. Eventually it becomes a really great satisfactory conclusion to that arc in Act 3, when everything is kind of going down and Momo has all his moments. But I don't know, I wish the samurai had more to do this arc, because it's sort of... I don't know. I don't want to say they got lucky with the fruit, but they kind of got lucky.
I guess. I mean, I thought it was a really cool twist, and I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And one thing I loved about it, because like as soon as you introduce time travel, there's kind of like a lot of implications, especially if you can go back and forth, because it's like, okay, everything is deterministic, or is it like multiple worlds? It's just a whole can of worms. But I think Oda sidestepped that by doing it's only one way. Because that actually simplifies it and makes it more logical in a way. Because like, yeah, okay, you can jump forward, but you just remove yourself from the timeline for like 20 years, and then it's not like you can never go back and change things. And that's one of the classical, like time paradoxes, kill your own dad kind of thing. So that kind of solves that. So I think actually I really really like that, because I heard, I was like, time travel, that's a can of worms. But the way he did it, really good, and it doesn't create more problems. The only thing I think with that is like you say, there's this it's the mother who has this prophecy of like the moon and they will rise again. That's cool.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of hints of her knowing more, and she's coming from the Void Century, and we don't get answers to that in one.
Yeah.
So that was a little... I'd hope we get more, because like that, you can't tease something like that. Like, she's from that century, but I'm assuming maybe Oda is saving something there. He can't reveal something because he wants to do it later.
Yeah, we get a really small flashback of her doing it for the first time, teleporting, because she's being hunted down or something by some bandits, and she's just like, okay, and just teleports, and then she does it one more time, and then the third time is her teleporting everyone 20 years. So I have a lot of questions related to that, and we didn't get any answers with it, which is fine if he eventually addresses it. But if he never addresses it, I'll be pretty mad because.
I mean, would you like to know whether it has been addressed or not so far, or would you not like to know whether it gets addressed? Do you know what I mean?
I would like to know.
Okay, so
yes or no?
Whether it has been addressed? Yeah, okay. So just so people can like put their ears in if they don't want to know. It has not been addressed yet.
Okay. All right.
But I but I hope, I have faith. I would get very very disappointed if it's never touched upon again, because I'm also like, this is such a cool setup. But I think there is setup for it to be in a storyline at some point that I think it's going to be good. So I think I'm pretty certain it's probably going to be there. Yeah. But so that was the time thing, and then of course like there's the Luffy versus Kaido after when Luffy flips out and just jumps down there and wails on him and then gets one-shotted.
Yeah, that was really fun, because it sort of set up the stakes for the rest of the arc, because I don't know, Luffy sort of destroyed Doflamingo pretty easily, and then destroyed Big Mom pretty easily by the end of the arc. But he had to run away is the issue. So
he didn't destroy her. And
yeah.
He couldn't even damage her. He had to run away. So
yeah. So like, I didn't mean to say destroy, but like, he was going up against her pretty well. I mean, he didn't have Gear 5 to help him, but just for the fact that he wasn't able to damage her, like, I was really excited to see him do that, and then it's just like, no, it's a good reminder that he one-shots him. Like, no, it's Yonko territory. Like, settle down. So
power scaling in One Piece is this like contentious thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really that much into that side of it.
Me neither.
I
Yeah.
think you need to think about it at a certain level. Like, okay, there needs to be some sort of like power levels, else nothing makes sense, right? So Yonko doesn't mean anything if the people who have it doesn't have like the power that comes with the respect that's been built up. So I think that was a really cool moment and a needed moment to build up the tension.
Yeah, because the last Yonko that we need a lot more info on is Shanks, because we haven't really seen him in action too much. Like, he shows up and always blocks an attack before Luffy is murdered, like in Marineford, and then I think he shows up in like Sabayoti, like really early. I can't remember.
No, he's not in Sabayoti. I'm pretty sure it's not. You can almost count on like one hand. Like the amount of times, like the major times up until Wano is like obviously start. Then there's like the meeting with Whitebeard where it goes like back and forth. Then the end of Marineford, and then you don't see him for a good while. Well, then there's in the Reverie, you see him go to meet the Five Elders.
Oh.
Which is also very cool.
That's very suspicious. I'm not trusting Shanks as much.
Well, you'll see.
Yeah.
And then he's always like, and I think it's actually cool to think about this massive story that this pivotal character that he sprinkled him in so little that you always want more. But I think that's what makes him cool and central, because it's with a lot of things in life. Like you want all the. But once you get it, it's not going to be as satisfying. But if you only get like a little cake, then you're really going to treasure that cake. So I think I think it's the right amount of Shanks we get. Like it's always like a pivotal.
Yeah, it's the same sort of situation with Dragon for me. Like Dragon is a character I want him to get up and say, "Okay, we're doing this," because he's just been sitting at that table for many arcs now.
When you're caught up, you should look like some of the best memes in One Piece are like about Dragon.
Oh yeah,
not fucking doing anything.
Yeah,
there is like some really funny memes, but you definitely shouldn't check things out yet. But like,
it's
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I think he is definitely doing stuff, but it's more like off screen a bit and like the organization. You just never really see him do much directly. And compared to other characters, I think people compare them, and I think a lot of it is in like good fun and there's some pretty funny memes. But I have faith we're gonna see stuff from him. But
oh, good. So should we go into Act 2, or is there anything else with Act 1 we should talk about? Oh, Udon. I want to talk a little bit about Udon. Is that in Act 1? I thought
it was like a big thematic thing that's set up is like the lack of food. And food is a big theme, right? That's kind of set up. And also, environmentalism is also a thing. Things, yeah.
I really like the all of the Udon stuff, and it's funny because Hyogoro, he's the teacher who teaches Luffy how to use a Ryo, which is another like form of hockey, and like it was funny because at the time I did not care at all about Hyogoro. I was just like, who is this guy? He looks really crazy. He's always like yelling at people. And like finally we see Eustace Kid in the cell, and that's when Luffy is like, okay, let's I have a plan now to do this thing, but I need to train because I'm not ready to fight the Yonko. That's when Hyogoro walks in and is like, hey, I'll teach you Ryu, and then we can you can sort of do damage within the body using that power. If you connect the hit, it'll go into the body instead of explosions like hockey does. And I really love that, sort of that build-up of him every day training how to use the punch, and then eventually being able to sort of break open a bunch of different... Because I think he uses it to break like a door or something, and then escapes Udon.
I guess that segues into Act 2, and the whole... I agree with you, it is the worst part. At the beginning, I'm like, okay, prison, it's cool. Like Input Down was cool. It's like one of the best arcs. But I think there's parts of it that's cool that I like. I like the build up with Kawamatsu, like this guy.
Oh yeah,
Cell.
Kawamatsu
I
is
think
my
there's some
favorite.
funny jokes with the. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think that's justified. I think he's the favorite of the samurais, the scabbards.
Yeah.
That's what you mean, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's cool. And also, what is he called? Raizo, the ninja.
Oh yeah.
Sneaking around.
Mm-hmm.
I think whenever a character in One Piece sneaks around, they always like tie clothes over their head and then it's like a funny gag. It's been there since Alabasta, and I love that gag. But ultimately, like his sneaking around, it's almost like it doesn't matter in the end. They just like break out or something. As far as I know, it's like a joke. Like, oh, he got the key, but then it didn't really matter or something.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, because Big Mom shows up looking for the soup. And she's like, where's the soup? And then that's when she is cured of her dementia. It's like right at the end of Act 2. Like when she finds the soup, because...
I never want to fucking eat that red soup. If I ever see it, I'll throw up, because I had to listen in regular One Piece to her saying that, and characters like just like fucking filler stretching things like red bean soup or forget the just that red bean soup. I never want to fucking see it or eat it in my life because of trauma watching it. But yeah, that was a thing, and it was just so stretched, all of it, right? And also Amnesia. Nobody likes that. It's like
it was fun when
it really felt like.
Yeah, it was fun when she was like interacting with Chopper, and I think it's Carrot when they're all hanging out, talking, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are so nice," like, and she doesn't recognize them like from Whole Cake Island. Like that's fun, but like the rest of it is her being like, "I want soup, and I'm like, "Okay, go get your soup. Like, get this over with."
Yeah, it just felt contrived. It felt like he was like, "Okay, I don't want her to run amok and just kill everyone right now. So I need to disable her. Okay, I'll just give her amnesia." But
yeah,
sure it works, but it's very contrived. I will say, like, there's a few moments I like from it. I like how Queen is awesome.
Oh, I love Queen. He's my favorite aside from King. Yeah.
And the dance, it really elevates him in the anime. The dance and the music.
Oh.
Yeah. That's and him like headbutting. It's like a big animation moment as well. I remember like him going up and just like headbutting Big Mom. Doesn't do anything. And it's just like he really like puts his all. And I think again with power scaling, I think that's cool in terms of just showing her strength. That like this is the number 3 in Kaido's hierarchy, and he can't really do much against Big Mom. I think that's cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of the few positives. Like the training is okay, but it's just not that exciting. It's just like
that's the only part that I liked of that arc was the training. Everything else was awful because because there was a part where Orochi is pretty involved in this act because we're getting a lot of exposition about him because we got a few flashbacks when because I think it's in the beginning of Act 3 is when we get all the Oden flashbacks, correct?
First there's the banquet where Komurasaki, Momonosuke's sister, gets killed.
Oh yeah.
It's like fake killed.
Yeah.
Then, not that much really happens in Act 2. I think you're right that Act 3 is where Oden's flashback. There's so much in Act 3. Like, it's crazy also when you look at like a bar. Act 1 is like this, Act 2 is like this, and then Act 3 is like... It's like 100 chapters.
Because Act 3 is like my favorite section of One Piece, like in the first while. But because of Act 1 and Act 2, it's not my favorite arc. I don't even think it's top 10 because of those like 2 acts.
Yeah. I think once we're near the end, we should talk about where you fits in terms of ranking.
Yeah. Because
I would probably agree.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed like everything with Luffy in this arc was incredible. all the Kaido stuff is a lot of fun. I could have gotten a lot more info about him, as we've talked about. But everything was really good, but there was just ways, like, too many things going on. And Orochi's one of those characters where he just keeps showing up through every act, and he's just the most sniveling, ass-kissing, like, piece of shit I've ever seen. He's like even even worse than...
Yeah, what do you think about him as a villain? What do you think about overall as a villain?
I hate him. I fucking hate him. He's worse than Hody Jones. I don't even like Hody Jones. Hody Jones shows up this arc, and I was happy to see him instead of Orochi. Like, it was... Oh, no. Caribou. Caribou shows up. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, Hody Jones doesn't even show up. Yeah, so, again, the equally awful. Like, that's how little I cared about Orochi. He is so sniveling. He's like a very lame version of Grima Wormtongue. And I can't stand him.
Yeah. I would also say, like, the voice actor, it's amazing, the voice actor.
He's a great voice actor, yeah.
Like, sometimes it got on my nerves because he's just, like, fucking screaming all the time. And but I like him. He's definitely not my favorite villain. But I think he serves a cool kind of purpose in terms of... Also, there's a little bit of sympathy for him when you see his background and like the whole with his family and everything. But yeah, ultimately that doesn't justify what he did.
Yeah, it's really interesting to contrast him with Doflamingo because they have such a similar backstory. So I do like comparing, like thinking about that because he's not like... No, I'm not saying, like, he's horrible because of these things. It's just... It's so much of him not doing much. And just being nasty to everybody. His backstory was really fascinating. And then the rest of the arc, he doesn't... All he does is, like, sneer at people and, you know, mock them and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, like, someone please knock him out. Where are you, Luffy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that more could have been given to him or done, like, because he's never... At the start, you're like, okay, who's the Shogun? But he was never really that threatening as soon as you see him being... He has a temper stuff, but he's also like a sniveling little coward, and he has a devil fruit. You know, like, he doesn't ever really use it to beat anyone. I don't think he wins any fight at all.
No.
So you never really get that much intimidation from people under him, I guess.
Yeah, I really liked his little crew of shadow people who were like operating everything.
Ninjas?
Yeah, they were really cool. Like,
yeah,
you have that old woman who
missed potential for me because like Oda, he drew all these and he even gave all of the names, most of the names, and like I remember there's even a joke. One of them has like a weapon and it's like, oh, is this like a hidden? It's like an umbrella or something. Is this a hidden thing? It's like, no, it's
yeah,
classic Oda humor. It's like, no, this is just a thing.
Yeah.
But all those characters were cool, but didn't really get used. They all got kind of like defeated very easily at some point.
Yeah.
And the only one who got screen time was the guy with the long earlobes, which did the stare down with isolate.
Yeah, he was cool, but
was like,
he didn't do anything. Like
implied backstory with those two, but you didn't get that much.
Yeah, because they were just really cool, but, I mean, as you said, he didn't do anything with them. And it was like, man, it's like, instead of focusing on these other things that was like, did nothing for the story, it was just drawn out, like, he could have used that time to develop them. And it's like, priorities, like, I don't know.
Exactly, some characters should have been cut, the fat should have been trimmed, and just more focus on your characters, and it would have been a faster... That's the story and tighter and more sad. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, okay, so that's Act 2. I guess we don't really need to dwell so much on it. Just go to Act 3, right?
Oh, so yeah, the best.
In my mind, how is... let me look here. So, yeah, first you get, like, the Odin flashback. So, what did you think about it?
I loved it. Oh, my God. I fucking loved Odin. He is one of my favorite characters now of the series. I loved everything about it. I love how we start really early with him before even becoming a shogun. He's very nice to people. He helps them. He doesn't expect reward. Like, he is such a good person. Like, And then he's like, you know what? I don't want to be here. We need to open up the country. I want to sail out. I want to see the world and see what I'm missing. And he immediately is recruited by Whitebeard, I believe. And then he joins Gold Roger. And you hear about that like in the previous arc, I believe, because I think Momo or Kinemon mentions it. Like, oh yeah, I think he went with Gold Roger, and Luffy, like Luffy just his jaw drops hearing that, and we get all of that flashback, and I'm like, yes, like because I was expecting Oda to talk about it and not show it, but we see everything. They revisit all these locations that we've been through. Alabasta, they visit Fishman Island, they visit Sabaody, they visit like many different places, and we get a lot of answers because they see the Joy Boy poneglyph, which comes in to very important, I guess, levels at the end of this arc, because we find out that Luffy is basically the reincarnation of Joy Boy and Nika, the sun god, which we'll get to it, but I want to mention that because they see this poneglyph, and they're like, oh, who is this? And Odin is like, this sounds like something in my prophecy, or whatever, like, opening up the country, Joy Boy is connected to this. And it's amazing. Like, I just love everything with it. He has a duel with Gold Roger at one point, which is really awesome. Whitebeard fights Gold Roger in these flashbacks, and it's just awesome. It's great to see Whitebeard again, because he's dead. So it's great to see him using his powers just insanely again. The animation of this arc, by the way, is the best that the series has been. I assume they doubled the budget because there was some really incredible fight animation through most of this arc, and especially at the end.
They stepped up their budget. I think you can see it toward the end of Whole Cake. You can see that like some fights, especially the final fight with Katakuri, is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
But then they changed the whole art style, and I think there was a new series that took over. Kind of just everything. The pacing is still bad.
Yeah.
But the animation is amazing often. Yeah. Also, some people complain about that, like, the too much like kind of aura or like energy blasts because that's not really there in the manga, but it really becomes sometimes like kind of like fucking shoots out energy blasts, and there's like aura of like exploding everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, but it's definitely like they turn it up to 11. That's for sure. With Odin, I love it. I really like Odin. I think he's a fun character.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool flashback. And just to get that tied in with Roger and Whitebeard, especially Whitebeard, because Roger we already knew that shit, but then you get Whitebeard as well. So cool that character you haven't seen really since Marineford, like that you can get more context on him, seeing him in his prime, and it's so fun. I really love it.
Yeah, it's really amazing because Whole Cake Island and this arc, like, combined, they make me want to rewatch the series from the very first like chapter, and just kind of see all of the foreshadowings and seeds that Oda has planted, because there's just so many of them. And it's just a lot of fun to see them coming to fruition these last like 2 arcs. And Egghead, I assume, is even just crazier in terms of delivering on promises and prophecies and all that. But I could have.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I could have handled many more episodes of Odin flashback, but I'm happy because we got like 3 or 4 episodes in one pace of just Odin and flashbacks, which is like 2 to 3 hours or so, which is amazing. Like, I'm so happy that we focused on that for so long. I wish we had that for Kaido.
Same, man. But and actually, that's one of the few places, because sometimes the One Piece anime adds stuff that are good, like it's technically filler, but they extend. I don't know how it is in One Piece. Maybe but they extend a few things. For example, in the manga, you just see them go up to the Sky Island, and then you see figure out actually. Now his name escapes me. Odin. It was him that did the engraving, right, near the bell.
Oh yeah.
But in the anime, at least in the original anime, they add like some scenes where Guy Knight and the other characters. I think that was nice, and also you see them like go out with the octopus. I don't think that's in the manga. But they add a lot of extra small things which are actually not, which are technically filler, but I think it fills it out a little bit where it's just like mentioned in the manga. And also like the iconic. What did you think about like he laughed moments?
The what moment?
When you actually see they're at Laugh Tale, and then they reveal that he's like laughing, and then there's like he laughed, and then they play. Do you know the song they play? Do you know about it?
I don't think so. No.
The song is the first ending song in One Piece. I think one of the first ending songs. Like so, it's all the way back from like 90.
Oh wow.
So there's also a lot of kind of like history in that. It's really I really like this in the anime. They do it really well.
Oh yeah, I really like the Laugh Tale stuff this arc, and then these flashbacks because. And this is something that really annoyed me later in the arc, is that Momo keeps reading about it in the journal, but then he never goes to that section about Laugh Tale and where it is or anything like that. And
yeah, I think this is something I always have trouble remembering, but I think those specific pages are taken out by Yamato.
Yeah.
Yamato has them.
Yeah, Yamato shows it to Ace, I believe. And it's like here
yeah. And I think later Momo gets those pages, but I can't quite remember. But it is like some characters there know what happened there, and they're just not saying at a certain point. But
yeah.
But what do you from Roger's reaction? What do you think the One Piece? Because he was obviously looking at it, right? That's the theory anyway. So what do you think?
I don't know what it could be. Like, what would make him laugh like crazy saying it? Maybe it just has like maybe it's a straw hat or something. I don't know. And it's like showing that Joy Boy has already been here and he's made his mark, and the One Piece is all about like Joy Boy and always being a symbol against the world government, because the world government is trying to find Laugh Tale so they can take control of it, take control of all the treasure, or what they think is treasure. But I mean, we don't know who Lord Emu is, and I have to assume that he knows all about Joy Boy because he has a straw hat. So there's many of these straw hats just laying around the world, and so it makes me wonder, like.
Yeah, there's that giant straw hat, right? And the size was also significant, I think, in the Lovely arc. You see that,
And I think that's another like one like at there. I don't know, maybe it's a gold one or something. But
yeah, could be. I think that's could be like we don't know yet. I think still hasn't.
Everyone would know. It'd be all over the internet. The moments were revealed.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel sorry for people. Like, it's gonna be so hard if you start this stuff once it's done, and you have to go through the story to not get spoiled. That's gonna be crazy hard.
Yeah, I'm really happy that like I started when I did, because I'm kinda towards the end. Feels like it from what you and a few other friends have told me. Like, it's getting close.
So he announced, like, from Egghead, it's the final saga that he announced that.
Ooh, okay.
Egghead is the start of the final saga. Like the story kind of split into sagas. So.
Oh, good. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. So I came in right at the right time, because Egghead, I think, finished right when I started in like January or so, because I watched up to Along Park like 2 years ago, and I loved it, and I never continued for like 2 years. I watched it on the anime, so I think that's why I burned out really hard of Along Park, because it's like double the amount of episodes in one pace, because it's Luffy, Usopp just running back and forth on the island in the anime, and it's really annoying. And I burned out, but I remember Wano going on back then, because I heard it was a lot of samurai, and I was really excited for it, and I was like, I'll be there in 2 or 3 years or so, probably. And then I caught up finally, but
that is that's also the really fun thing about being caught up and just like the whole community thing of like see you in Wano and see you, and I guess it kind of spoils people a bit, but I think it's in a good spirit. Like, okay, you get spoiled that okay, we do get to Wano. I think it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
because you get this communal sense of like, oh, I'll see you there. I can't remember. Are you spoiled on where the current arc, like the newest arc, is?
Yeah, because I was talking with another friend of mine who's caught up, and I asked him for his rankings of the arcs, and he had the name of the current arc. I won't say it, but he had it, and I was like, wait a minute, because I was way back in like I think Fishman Island at that time, so I just begun the post time skip. And I was like ever since Dory and Brogy, I've been like, I want to go to Elbaf. Like, this is something that I need to have in my life. I just love giants. They're like my favorite fantasy race.
Now you just said it. But
oh, yes. Well, if you don't know, well, now you know. So, I don't know. But like... Yeah, like I'm really excited to go there. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy it's now happening, and I'm not like we're not all going to be waiting when I catch up. Because it's been a very concerted effort to catch up in these last like 7 months or so. So
yes. All right. So yeah, the Odin flashback. Yeah, as an aside, like with the One Piece, that's a lot of some theories is like that the One Piece is literally a One Piece, like a One Piece bathing suit.
Oh,
that's
like, the first time,
that
yeah.
Kind of fit with him laughing, but
that'd be really funny, yeah. That'd be disappointing though, like with all this build up, 30 years.
I think no matter what answer he gives, I feel like half of the fandom is going to be mad. I don't think you can say with that much build up. I think people have their own idea, or some people want it to be funny, some people want it to be epic. I honestly, I don't know what will satisfy me. I hope surprising, but. I don't think I'll know how I feel before I see the reveal. But yeah, he has said that it is something. It's not like the friends we made along the way or something.
Oh yeah,
vague thing. Because he said that like he doesn't like that, so it is a definite.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, but so if we go on from the before the Odin flashback, there's like an interlude where you see stuff on. You see on Pirate Island with Blackbeard.
Oh yeah.
You see Moria. Go there. What did you think of that?
That was a really fun aside. I mean, I think Moria was a lot of fun. I remember when I think it was Impel Down that he's in it. Everyone was like, "Oh, I hate."
It's in Thriller Bark.
Oh, Thriller Bark, yeah. I messed up him and Magellan. They're very similar, but yeah, so Gecko Moria, like, I love him. I think he's really fun and funny. I love the zombie aspect. I love all of that. And then when he shows up and is immediately taken down by the fake sort of messenger guy that ends up being one of the Blackbeard pirates, like, it's so fun. Like, I'm always happy when Blackbeard pirates are showing up on screen. I want more of it. I want more answers. Like, but I'm just happy.
And that also showed that like the creepy guy from Thriller Bark, the wolf guy, he got killed and they took his fruit. So
yeah, that's really fun because we get a lot of like exchanging of fruits in this arc, and this is when I think I'll introduce the topic of Luffy's fruit, because we hear a lot about I can't remember who it is, but we get some flashbacks of people looking for it, and then Shanks takes it. And
yeah, but that is closer to the reveal. It's actually not that many chapters before the reveal. Yeah.
Okay.
I think like a couple of chapters before you see Gear 5, you have those things with the first mention of it. I think is Who's Who. He and then the fight with Jinbei is like one big exposition dump where they talk about that Shank went and took it there.
Okay, yeah, we can wait on that then, because I thought it was much earlier than that. So
yeah, no, I think actually that's a little critique. I think that like the whole I think Gear 5 is awesome, and I think it's cool with the fruit it being I forget the term now. There's Logia, Paramecia, Soan. Like it actually being a Soan instead of a Paramecia.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, but it could have been set up maybe a bit earlier. I think I didn't really feel it was that set up. But I still think it fits and stuff.
It's a nice twist, I think, because we get zero characters wondering about Luffy's fruit. They're like, oh, it's the rubber fruit. It's the rubber fruit. Whatever, it's the rubber fruit. And we just kind of accept it. And then we have this big reveal. No, actually, it's the human fruit. And, like, my jaw dropped.
Yeah. I think if you think about it, there might be some stuff that doesn't make sense. For example, you see the five elders talk about this fruit we've been trying to find that has been invading for, like, centuries. But they've been knowing about Luffy for a while. So if they, if this fruit is so important, if it's, like, the center, you know, like... It's Joy Boy's fruit. It's like all these things. Why isn't his bounty, like super high? Or why haven't they gone all in on getting him? You could say maybe they have, but like since in his lobby he was pretty well known, as the robber. I would think he would have been more high profile. So that's also why I think that Oda didn't really intend for it at that point. I think it came later. Also like this thing of like that the world government actually been looking for it. I think in hindsight, maybe that doesn't make 100%. I think that's okay. You can still kind of headcanon it, make it fit. Okay, after Odin, then there's there's two things. First, there's the betrayal.
Oh yeah, Kanjiro.
Kanjiro, yeah. And I think you wrote to me, or I wrote to ask you.
Oh, it cut out. What did you say?
Oh, I said you didn't see it coming. You didn't see the traitor coming.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a traitor. Like, I was just watching the thing, and then Kanjiro betrays them. It's like, no, I've been telling Orochi your movements this whole time, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I didn't even question why they were able to find everything that they were doing. And then Kanjiro does that, and he takes Momo hostage, and it's like, yeah, everyone's selling to the Doom, and that's when Trafalgar Law shows up in the arc, and it's awesome. Eustace Kid shows up. But then, I think Kanjiro is one of my favorites of the Red Scabbards. Like, he was really fun. I love his design. I love the red hair and the kind of mask sort of demeanor that he had, because he seemed really shifty for most of the arcs. Like, he always had that look on his face. But I didn't question it. So when the betrayal happened, I was like, oh, I just was not paying attention. At all. But
I thought it was so good, and it was built up for such a long time. Like, when you look back, all the pieces make sense.
Yeah.
Like him doing bad drawings, and like Ruinosuke, which is like an awesome from the So arc, right? But like all those things, like it all adds up, and there's a lot of little things. Like, you should, again, when you're caught up, you should look it up, but like there's certain scenes where you'll see like the background flying away, and that's actually him sending information to Orochi. There's lots of little things that he actually put in there, and there was, I think there was someone who, like, a little bit before it happened, like, compiled this information and made a theory about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super cool. Also, did you notice that like he switched hands? I think they even mentioned that like,
I think
he
so,
used his
yeah.
left hand and then he switched to right hand. Just like all of that is such a cool reveal, and him being like this kabuki, I think it's called, actor, and all of that is super cool. I agree with you. I think he's one of the best, just because he's such an entertaining villain. Although he gets killed like 3 times before he finally bites, which is 1 or 2 times too many.
Yeah.
Which you can say about a lot of characters. But
Orochi.
Characters in One Piece world, they should really double tap. They should always make sure, because if there's one thing in the story, like, it very rarely dies, right? So if you want to make sure someone's dead, you take their head or double tap or something. But then it's after that. Then it's, of course, like, also I think a moment. Kinemon's like accidentally like he gets credit for setting up the plan where he just like did it.
Yeah.
What do you think of that moment?
That was really funny. I actually really liked that entire like back and forth of them reinterpreting sort of what the symbol meant, and they're like, no, it means this, it means that. And so them accidentally succeeding, like, it's so funny. Like, that's kind of my favorite type of humor, is when things just accidentally happen, they blunder their way to success. Like, it is such a funny, like, gag. And, like, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna give you a slight teaser.
Ooh.
That the very soon in Egghead you'll see something cool related to that. Just a slight teaser. It's at the start, so you'll see.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it's really funny, and then the whole fight there. And I guess after that the raid kind of begins. It's also that the interlude is when there's like 3 big episodes that like stands out. One is one of the interlude episodes. Then there is one of the raid episodes, and then episode 1015. I don't know what it's called in One Piece, but those were directed by Yuritani, I think her name was. And they really stand out with like the animation quality.
Oh, it cut out. What was that?
Oh, I said if you know the episodes I'm talking about, like that's like the superior.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. Because 1015 is like around the time when... is it when Big Mom and Sanji are like going on and on about the Germa stuff and he decides to break it?
I mean, One Piece is different, right? 1015 is the original... but it's like the whole episode is Luffy with Big Mom and Kaido on the roof, and you see flashback to Yamato, and there's like this amazing animation and music, and it all builds up, and then I think Luffy hits Kaido for the first time and like knocks him down.
Yeah.
And
I remember that now. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of people's favorite episode, and it's one of the best episodes. Yeah. I mean, the raid starts from here, right? And it's just one big... I mean, I don't think we need to go chronologically through the raid. There's so much stuff happening.
Yeah.
I really liked the raid. I think it was too long.
Yeah.
I think there was too many characters, but maybe I shouldn't... I got your opinion first, maybe. Like, overall, like Act 3, the raid, what are the best things? What are the worst things?
So I think the best thing is everything with Queen and King. I think every time they fought, it was so fun because they're all actually dinosaurs. And we get this entire reveal that I had no idea about the Lunarians, and basically them being like the gods of, I guess, the, not planet, but like of that area. And that's where Mary Joa is actually built upon. So that's a very like... It makes total sense that like this was introduced, because this is such a common theme, is sort of stolen land and exploitation and genocide and all that, because they did the world government did that to O'Hara and got rid of them. And so now we learn about how they got rid of the Lunarians, and Kaido sort of rescued King, and his real name is Albe, which is really interesting. I hope we get a lot more about the Lunarians soon, and sort of what their involvement is, because the island of Mary Joa is so important. But we've just been introduced to the idea that this is stolen land, which is really interesting to me. I really enjoyed getting his powers, because he's like a sort of fire flame guy. And it's very reminiscent of Ace. And we do get some really fun scenes with Ace this act, with Yamato and them making the Viva card. And it was just a lot of fun. And he's like, oh yeah, my little brother, he's coming. Like, he's going to help you guys. And she...
It's similar to Whitebeard, right? That like after so long a character could still bring them back. And that it kind of makes sense as well. Because even in, I don't know if you remember in Marineford, he gave the hat to Little Horse Jr., and he said he learned that in one. So it's not like, it doesn't feel like an ass pull that like all of a sudden ages there because it was set up that he bends over. So I
Yeah.
think that's really cool as well.
Yeah, it was really fun too. Everything with Crane because he is such a musical character. He's always like doing the zumba, zumba, zumba. And then like I just love that song. I wish it was on Spotify. All the other songs are on there. Binks' Brew. We have the Wano theme song on there, but we don't have this one. I'm like, come on, come on, Spotify. An artist needs to.
I agree.
Yeah, because like it was so fun, and the animation's a lot of fun too. Doing that way, it's like a music video, and it's very vibrant. And his devil fruit's a lot of fun too, because he turns into like a brachiosaur or not a triceratops. That was page 1, I believe, is the triceratops, or maybe Who's Who, and then
I'm the wrong person.
Yeah.
Any of the name for the. I do remember one gag with the dinosaurs is like they all act in a weird way, and then they say like this is how dinosaurs are, and then a character, oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is how dinosaurs are.
Yeah, and then I really love the fight between King and I think it's Frankie. Maybe he fights Frankie, or Frankie fights Big Mom.
No.
There's so many characters.
Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro. Okay,
Yeah.
there's so many because Zoro fights Queen at one point, then he fights King, and then Sanji fights them, and Big Mom is like, use your Germa stuff, and he's like, I don't want to, and Crane keeps calling Sanji Vinsmoke to kind of mock him about his family. And then Frankie turns into his awesome Iron Man guy, and it's fun. But like, there's so much fighting in the raid. And then we have the most annoying character kidnapped Sanji for like 4 episodes. And with spider webs.
The spider lady?
Yeah, it was a really cool design, but I was so mad that she was like, let me take you out of the arc for like 4 episodes. Because you're on the way to Big Mom and Kaido, and we can't kill you. So.
Yeah, I think when they're fighting on the main floor and it's going back and forth, there's really cool elements to it also with like Marco coming in, but it just kind of lasts too long and it becomes a little bit, okay, let's go to the roof, let's get the main fights on. But with that moment with the spider lady, which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, I mean,
Toby Robo. There's that moment where Sanji calls for Robin. What did you think of that?
That was really fun, because Robin doesn't really have anything to do this arc. She's like a geisha, which is fun. But like, she's trying to find the pony glyph. And I can't even remember if like she ever finds it, because I think it's Brooke who makes the imprint of it and then gives it to her.
No,
maybe,
you're conflating a little bit with Whole Cake, where Brooke, he gets the imprint there. Because at the end, she goes down with Trafalgar.
She goes deep in the ground,
But it's also a little bit confusing because like there is a poneglyph that Law finds on the island they're raiding. Oigashima, is that the name? There's a poneglyph there, but then there's also the road glyph that they go down in the basement, and that's not an Oigashima, I think. So there's like kind of multiple places, and I don't think they ever mention what's actually Law finds.
No, they don't. So that was the one annoyance I had with Nico Robin this arc, is that none of that was like.
Fight, though, with the whole demon form, and what do you think of that?
It was really fun, because we always hear about the demon of Ahara, and I thought it was just a name, and then she goes demon mode, and it was a lot of fun. But someone's calling me. Oh, potential spam. Okay. But it was really fun when she kind of kicks away like through the buildings and is like, there's Sanji. And then I think Chopper comes in as well during that time, because Big Mom has like evaded and is now fighting Kid, I think, and Mako. Again, it's just
all over the place, right?
Many different characters just like all over the arc. It's really hard to track individually.
Yes, yeah. I think my favorite part of fighting in anime and shonen and One Piece generally is whenever there's like team ups and they combine their powers in fun ways.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's just like punchy, it's fun. You know, that's the Luffy likes to punch. But when it's like, for example, when they fight Big Mom and Law, he teleports like the cage that Kid made on top of the cloud or the sun, Big Mom's homie, and then Kid uses the metal push to like push it out and stuff. Like that kind of stuff is really cool. Like when it's kind of combining all these different powers, because it gets so creative. So I really like that kind of fighting.
Yeah, the Big Mom fight is like amazing, and I knew this arc would finish that storyline of Big Mom and Kaido, because I was feeling it. I was like, I don't see a world where they still exist after this arc. Like, this feels like this is the final arc for them. And it was such a satisfying end for them. Because, like, Corazone's lesson, like, contributed to it, to Law, like, in his backstory. And he just puts it around her head so no one can hear her rampage.
The silence, that was a really nice
touch. I love that. That was, like, my favorite moment, like, in that fight.
I really like that fight as well, and the anime really gas it up really nicely. I think
the animation is awesome.
Some extra juice, and actually, I guess this is kind of a little bit of a segue because, like, are they dead? Do you think that they're not in? They seem dead still in the story, where further on. But, this is One Piece. Characters don't always stay dead, even though they should. Kinemon. Other characters this arc, Hell. But, yeah, I think there's some theories about them coming back at some point. I hope they stay dead. I think their story is done.
Yeah.
But this is One Piece, so I think there's a higher chance than zero that... but we'll see. It's a somewhat satisfying end to both. But yeah, what do you think about... I want to talk about like Gear 5 and Kaido, but before we jump into that, just quickly, like with the Toppy Ropo, what do you think about them?
They were fine. They were okay. Again, it's just too many groups of baddies that it was just really hard to like keep track of them. Because Page 1, he's not part of that, right? Or is he?
Yes, he is. Page 1 and
Page 1, who's who?
Brother and sister.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Page 1 a lot. But, yeah. But like, that's really it. Like, in terms of who I like.
Yeah, I think for me, the gold standard is like CP9.
Yeah.
In One Piece. Because like I think every member there... Every member in that arc got a good fight. And I feel like it hasn't really happened in an arc since then that every member has an individual fight was cool and interesting. It kind of peaked there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I do like... I like the Spider Lady.
She's cool,
Who's design, I really liked personally. With like the glasses and the saber tooth. I think it was a little disappointing how easily Jinbei just like smoked him.
Yeah.
But, and then there's also like X-Drake who ends up betraying.
Oh, he's fun. Yeah, I like him a lot.
But yeah, overall, like Ulti and Page 1, I like kind of like Ulti abusing Page 1. That's kind of like funny. But yeah, they don't really stand out. And then the guy that I can't even remember him, the guy that Frankie fights, who's the kind of like turtle dinosaur guy. Like, I think he's pretty forgettable. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's an okay fight, but it's just...
Yeah.
But more fun stuff. Kaido and like be a big Gear 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you spoiled on Gear 5?
I was not, although I had seen it before at a arcade. I saw a figurine of him, but I didn't read the plate. I didn't see it. It was Gear 5, nothing. But before that, what did you think of the CP0 stuff? I was very underwhelmed by that. I wish Rob Lucci did more.
That's actually one of the really sore spots for me because CP0 had such awesome build-up since Toast Road.
Yeah.
okay, these are the step above CP9, and CP9 were awesome, and they look and everything. There was parts of it I like. I did like the main guy, like blocking Luffy and like just taking the hit from Kaido and getting murked. And in the end, I kind of did like that guy, but a lot of the other guys did contributing much, and it just seemed like their power level was kind of in a weird place. I can't really place actually how strong are these guys supposed to be. One thing I really liked about them was the visualization of the battle with the go pieces, how that shifted over time.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It starts with like 10 pieces versus 50 pieces. That was cool, and they were like reporting. I think it was a good narrative tool for the battle. But their actual influence, power level, to me, it felt like they were being built up to be more. And I feel like they might not actually be relevant again in the story, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, that's how I felt after this arc, because I was like, they had so much build up. And like, I love CP9, I love Rob Lucci. He's like one of my favorite characters from, I think, Water 7. Like, he's from so long ago. And I was like, he is such an interesting character. I want more of him. And then when he's revealed, I think during, not Reverie, but it's like one of the interludes. Dressrosa. During one of the interludes, he's revealed to have joined CP0, and it's like, oh man, like, what's he gonna do? And he don't do anything. It's like, he does some stuff, like, in this arc, but is he destroyed? I can't even remember what happens to him. Like, is he dead, or does he get away?
We're not talking about Lucci, we're talking about CP0 guy, right?
Rob Lucci's in CP0, right?
Yeah, but he's not in Wano.
I thought he was in that room. He had the mask on. Because they have a graphic or a caption saying it's Rob Lucci. No. Unless he's pretending to be.
No, he's I think you're confusing, because he's in the level Reverie arc. He's there like as an escort.
Yeah.
You see him there, but he's not at Wano.
Who was that?
It's just some guy with mask. Like,
oh no,
those guys they look kind of cool, but they don't end up doing that much and get randomly killed.
I am baffled because I thought that was Rob Lucci. I remember a caption saying it was. Oh my gosh, I'm tripping.
Yeah, no, that's a false memory.
Oh no. Dang. But okay, I have no attachment to CB0 then. They was such a disappointment.
Slight teaser. You will see Rob Lucci again.
Good. Okay. I like Rob Lucci a lot. I thought he was in here. Oh my god, it's crazy. Oh my gosh. But shall we talk about the insanity that is Gear 5? And that wants a reminder, because I think I want to just re-explain what happens. Luffy is defeated by Kaido, and he is telling everyone, like, Luffy's dead. Everyone's freaking out. His heart has actually stopped. So, like, he is dead. Like, he's killed by Kaido. And so, for, like, 2 episodes, he's talking about how he killed Luffy. And then, this is when I was, like, freaking out, because I realized in these few episodes, I was like, oh, no. I should have realized much sooner that he's actually a reincarnated god and not just some guy.
Obvious.
Yeah, because I was like, how's he going to come back alive? It's not going to be like Chopper coming up and, doing the chest compressions. Like, he's not going to do that. How's he going to... Oh, he's going to bring himself back using his rubber heartbeat or whatever. And then he turns into Looney Tunes animation mode, which was so fucking awesome, and I loved it. I downloaded the videos straight from One Piece so I can just rewatch them whenever I want. And he turns all white. He is, like, having the best animation, jumping into the sky, and he has, like, Nika, the sun god. And we get this awesome, like, desktop background shot. And then he comes down and he just beats the shit out of Kaido. And just wins. just within like an episode or 2, and just throws him into the fell in. I assume it's the core of the earth. I would like to think of it that way, so it's instant death when they fall into lava. But
yeah, it seemed that way. But yeah.
But like Year 5, holy shit, the music, the Drums of Liberation, it was so funny when you sent me, because I knew of the song title Drums of Liberation. I had no idea what it meant. Fucking Zumesha shows up and is like, I hears Joy Boy, and is like freaking out. Momo is freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. And
That's such great build up, yeah.
it was such a great build up. And Zumesha is like, peace, like immediately afterwards. He just disappears. And then, like, the Drums of Liberation come in. I want to watch the orchestral thing because it's been recommended by my YouTube algorithm ever since I started YouTube or One Piece this year. It keeps blasting out Drums of Liberation X, I think the title is, Gear 5. And I'm like, stop showing me that YouTube, please. But
I don't think I've seen that. Such.
Yeah.
But, it's an awesome. Also because like One Piece, they reuse so much of the music, which is also iconic. So whenever you get a new music piece, it's so nice. And this one is really like with Gear 5 and the drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I don't know when in this arc, but they do reuse We Are, the original theme song, which was I love any time that song comes up in the series.
That's the special episode when Luffy like punches Kaido for the first time and like into the ground. There's like a instrumental version of it.
Yeah, I love it when that comes in, and I don't think we get a new version of Binks' Brew this arc. We did last arc.
Well, I mean, you technically do with the Odin flashback when they're all singing.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love like the music of the series. Like it is so fun. I have them all on my playlist. Like
I really like. I have like the piano note for Binks Saga. I'm learning it very slowly on piano.
Oh, nice.
But that's one of my a little pet peeves. I love the music. Oda actually did that himself with the help of a musician. And he got the music for it. But I kind of wish there was more of it. I just want more. Like I wish, like like after an arc, Brook would just like make a song. But it's not so often that you. I love Binks Brew. I just wish there was more iconic music pieces. And
same.
He's clearly good at writing a song, so I just wish he'd done it one or twice more than the one time.
Yeah. What was your reaction when Gear 5 first happened? Because you were reading live by that point, right?
No, like I was watching it, and when I started, because I had similar to you, I'd watch one piece of one, then I put it on Skype here, and then it up again about 2 years ago ish, and started watching, and then I think it was YouTube or it was Crunchyroll, just had commercials for One Piece. I think it was right around the time. Yeah, because it was in 2023 in the summer that it was animated. And I think it was slightly after that I started, so there was tons of spoilers. It just spoiled me. Like
so I remember saying that. Like I remember saying that. Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess this is a power-up, but whatever, Like, I didn't know it was going to be... I just saw it and then... went on, but I was really surprised that it was so cartoony and so kind of tone shit. I think it was awesome, and it still kept the seriousness while just until he's having fun with it. The animation is amazing at that point as well. So creative with all the different gags and.
Yeah, I really liked when he pulls up the ground like a carpet at one point, and it's just like against Kaido's attacks. Like,
when he's like doing jump rope with Kaido, or like going.
Oh, that was awesome.
Disrespecting him to the max.
Oh yeah.
That's fun. No, everything we get fired off. I think there is a slight risk in the long run that maybe seriousness of certain moments, but for me that hasn't really happened at any time yet.
What was that first part? It cut out while you were saying that first part.
Yeah, I think my laptop is struggling on longer sessions of Discord. Sorry if video audio is not good. I hope it's okay. But I was saying that Gear 5 has the potential to undermine Zero because it's always goofy.
Yeah.
But for me, it hasn't happened yet in the story. So I think he's used it well so far. Really like it. And you always know that when that form shows up, the enemy.
Oh yeah.
There are some really cool Gear 5 moments coming up. You don't have to worry.
Yeah,
This is only the beginning.
yeah, because Egghead, I feel like is going to be such a heavy Marine Admiral focus. Because in the One Piece website, they have like descriptions for each arc that's very non-spoiler, but it does mention Vegapunk in the arc, and it's like, oh, it's super futuristic, and I'm like, oh boy. Like, I feel like the Marines are gonna come in because they're aligned with Vegapunk. I mean, he's created a new weapon that we've been hearing about since Reverie, I believe, where they say, oh, we don't even need warlords anymore. This is just a much better weapon than anything we've ever had. And so I feel like we're going to get a really nice power exhibition going on where all the Marines are going to show up, just like Marineford, and we're going to be shown what this new weapon is. And that's when Luffy is going to have to disable that weapon. That's kind of what my theory is for Egghead and where we're headed.
I'm not gonna say, but there is the climax at the Egghead is really good. Like you'll see. Like there is a lot going on. Yeah. Egghead's awesome. Yeah, but you'll see soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I guess after the Kaido fight, there's this slight kind of like downturn and just like relaxing, and then the new admiral. What did you think of him? Raikuku or something? The green ball is his episode.
Green ball. He's cool. I really like his powers, where he just sort of flourishes the land around him, and I'm very curious to know like what his role is in the story, because he's such a wild card. Not to make a pun, but he's very much a wild card, and I don't know how he's like, whether he's good or bad, because we've heard about Green Bull before. I can't remember what that was from.
In the level, you see like a silhouette of him.
Okay.
And also that silhouette doesn't quite match how he ends up looking in the end. Like his hair is longer and stuff. It seemed like Oda changed. Never trust silhouettes. But
yeah, I don't look closely.
yeah. But yeah, he changed. A lot of people give him flack because of like the Wi-Fi haki from Shanks that like disables him. I think before that he gets a lot of aura. You know, like he defeats King and Queen even though they're beat up, and defeats all the scabbards and Yamato. But then Shanks kind of intimidates him. So that was definitely like, before that I think he was doing pretty good, and then that kind of a little bit like just made him a little bit less cool. I still like him. I think we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm very curious because Shanks at the end, after the fight with Green Bull, he's like, okay, we got to go get the One Piece ourselves, and he sails away, and I'm like, what does that mean? Why is he going to the One Piece? Like, why is he a villain now? Like, first he was meeting with the Gorosei, now he's like gonna go take the One Piece for himself. Like, just go with Luffy, like team up with him, support your friend that you gave, the hat to. Like, come on, you were such a good mentor. Like, I don't know. I can't trust Shanks anymore. I don't, because we have too many little moments where he does something weird that I can't explain.
Yeah, who knows?
Oda knows.
Yeah.
He needs to tell us. But we're about at an hour and 25 minutes. Is there anything else you want to cover before we go away? Or
I think just to tease you a little bit, like I think a lot of people had very mixed feelings on one. I had as well. With like, I think overall it's cool. Like, it's good. It has really, really high highs, but also low lows.
Oh yeah.
But to me, the two arcs afterwards just like had just been full on. It's just like steam engine, full steam ahead, and some stuff been happening. The pacing is super good. So I think you really enjoy it, and you really feel like everything's coming together, and you get answers to stuff. There's still mysteries, but which is gonna be cool when you catch up and see. Kind of you definitely feel like it's in game, in the best of.
Yeah. Because I loved.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
I was saying I love like Dressrosa. I loved I don't know if I would say I loved Fishman Island, but I definitely loved Whole Cake Island outside of the chase. I think the chase kind of weighed down the arc a bit, so I had it down at like 8 or 9 out of 10.
Wedding cake.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah, it just goes on, and then she does it again, but with red bean soup, whatever. Yeah. But like, I said in my weekly progress report, I was like, this arc was basically just valleys and mountains, like just very high highs and very low lows, like, and it balances out right in the middle for me. So,
yeah. So, but it is. I think it is also the arc with the most. The first time you hear of it is like Thriller Bar. So much to it, and overall, it's just like all the missing things, right? Like the numbers. So what else? Like Kaido's backstory.
Yeah.
The Zoro's lineage.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Zoro a little bit before we got off. Like, I had this whole theory for the longest time since, like, Logtown that he was from Wano. And we get a little bit of a tease about him, like, when he was growing up, the town that he was at was named after the Wano samurai who came and kind of developed this town and helped train Zoro. And I like that a little bit, but it really disappointed me because this entire time I thought he was secretly, you know, this bigger deal than we thought he was, like how Sanji was actually part of, you know, the whole Vinsmoke family and all that. Luffy's, you know, the reincarnated god and like all this different stuff. And it's like right at the end, in like the final episode or two, Oda is like, oh yeah, by the way, he, you know, when he grew up, this town was named after the Wano guy. Like, oh yeah, okay, bye. And it's like, come on, do more with it.
Yeah, and that's like, and you get some more answers in the SBS where it's like one of Zoro's ancestors traveled out of Wano, or oh no, sorry, there was a samurai who went out and founded that village where Zoro grew up. But then that's not the same. I think, if I remember correctly, it's not the same character. Zoro's father is another samurai who went out. So he is related to Wano, but in the end, it didn't really seem to matter much. There's also like I don't know if you remember at the very beginning in one, there's the Kitetsu. So there's like 3 Kitetsus, and there's like Kitetsu. Zoro had Kitetsu 3, and there's Kitetsu 2, and there's all this build up, and Zoro's like Luffy has it for a little bit, where punches with it. He actually does.
Yeah.
But that didn't really amount to anything either. Like there wasn't any answers there, and it's just like there's a lot.
I liked Odin's swords a lot. That was fun.
He didn't even go to see Rumour's grave.
Yeah.
He really should have. That was his ancestor. He fought him.
Yeah, it was cool. But like again, like all these little things that like Oda could have focused on instead. Like this could have easily have been like my top 3 arc. Cause like I know some people who have this as the number 1. And I'm just like shocked because like I had so many expectations going into this arc. Because I love samurais. I mean, the Japanese cinema is like my favorite. I have dozens of samurai movies in my collection. Like, I talked for like 10 minutes about Zatoichi during my Dressrosa video. Like, I love all this stuff. And going into this arc, we get a lot of the Seven Samurai stuff, as I said. But then we don't get really anything else from, you know, the samurai film genre and no explanation or exploration of Zoro's samurai, you know, origins and all this stuff. It's like really disappointing. Like the what ifs if I get too into it and think about it too much. Like
I agree with you that I mean I think you have a deeper connection because you've seen way more of me of those movies. What you like when you read the manga, from he does talk about it. So I think you'll enjoy that when you eventually read.
Yeah, because my idea after I catch up is that like during Elbaf I'll do a chapter or 2 a week. It's sort of my idea so that I don't catch up in like a week in the middle of the arc. I want to kind of delay. But like I kind of want to go.
At some point that's going to be difficult for you.
Yeah, like I'm going to be too excited. Yeah, I'll just have to record a bunch of videos straight, I guess. But like I really want to kind of go like chapter by chapter on like the manga, like just screen record like PDFs or whatever website it's on and just kind of go through as a veteran reader and just find all the foreshadowings. And I don't know, but that's a lot of work. Like So I probably won't do that, but that's something I would love to do. It'd be so
Sounds
fun.
like a cool project, yeah.
Yeah. But anything else you want to say before we hop off?
Kinemon's fake out death is bullshit. I need to get that out from that was the perfect. The animated was beautiful. I don't want to have necessarily start a 10-minute long discussion.
Yeah.
Like that still hurts me a bit. That was the perfect end to his character. I really like his character.
Yeah, I love Kinemon. I'll be honest. Yeah.
I mean, I like him, so I'm glad he's alive. But I think that would really have made, just like Pell, it was the perfect place for his story to end.
Yeah.
I don't really think realistically he's gonna have that much impact going forward. So. But Oda doesn't like killing his character.
Yeah, because I was thinking because we only had one Red Scabbard die during the early arc on the execution stand, which is really emotional. It's a great moment, but
He's
we
not
don't.
a Red Scabbard, but he's part of the rebellion.
Oh yeah, thank you. But yeah, Kinemon, if he died there, it would have been a lot more of a gut punch, and been more affecting. And it was kind of oh, never mind, actually, because his legs fall off or something. And he runs away.
Half of them should have died.
Yeah.
It would have made it feel more like the sacrifice and everything instead of two of them died.
Yeah.
It was what's his name? The one with the pink hair, and then the guy from Whitebeard's crew with the guns. Those were the two characters who died. It was also kind of
Ichi or Izo. Izo is one of them.
Izo, yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
And even when he dies, the first guy, Doji, Admiral Doji.
Oh, Doji, Ashura Doji, yeah.
Yeah, when he because the fake Odin clone, he takes him out with the dynamite, and then he explodes. You don't even think he's dead at that point because you're so used to the fake out.
Yeah.
It's one piece. Oh, dynamite, whatever. He'll tank that. No, he's actually dead, and you're you don't really feel it because you don't believe it, right? So that's the miss where with the Kinemon, it really seemed like it. It really seemed like, okay, this is the final moment. Right? And then, none of that. It's just so turned upside down for me. Those two should have been.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining with me today. I had a lot of fun talking with you, and this is definitely preferred than just me talking on my camera for 40 minutes or whatever, as I try to remember everything, but this was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.